You're alright there, folks. What's going on? Good to see you. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Australian Open. We're going to be going through the first lot of the round 2 matches. We're starting from the top, we're touching on each one before we get into it. Like the video for me. And do me a favour as well, subscribe to the channel if you're not. I'd appreciate it if you did. If you want to support the channel, links in the description and the pinned comment along with the picks if there are any. Right then, first things first, I don't know, right, last night, cashed one of them bets. It was only Zizou Bergs that let me down on the other one, and you know what, I sort of had a feeling it'd be him, so I could live with that. And it was the last of the first round, so there was no damage done. I can certainly live with that. Let me know if you got anything. First off, for us, is, you know what, we'll do the really big favourites. There's 3 or 4, really quick, so look, Zverev, Pedro Martinez. I imagine that's a routine win for Zverev, do you not? Straight sets, probably. Either way, nothing for me there. Next one is going to be Hugo Humbert, Harry Habib. Now, I know a few years may not like this, but like Hugo Humbert 1.08 on the decimal, that does seem, I'd say, a little bit disrespectful to Habib. He looked really good in the first round. He annihilated Boo. You know, Hugo Humbert won his game in straight sets as well against Gigante. No surprise there. Tiebreaker in the first, 7-5 in the second, 6-4 in the third. A lot closer than I imagined it would have been. You can't help but think Habib would be able to cover whatever number that spread's going to be. My guess is probably 8.5. If it's 9.5, I'd just take him plus the points. I'd take him plus the points. I feel like the deeper we get into this tournament, we're not going to come across many more spreads. They'll get thinner and thinner as the days go on. I love Hugo Humbert. For those that are new to the channel, he's one of my favourite players, and he has been for years, but he was fairly inconsistent last year. I know what he can do. We all know what he can do. He really should be getting this one done, no question asked, but at such a big price, I don't think I could trust it. He has beaten before. That was back in 2022. A lot's changed since then. Nothing for me on that. Just wanted to touch on it. We've got Alcaraz, Nishioka, once again. Biggest favourite of the entire tournament, I imagine. 1.02. That is absolutely disgusting. Shouldn't be allowed. 1.02. You're talking nearly 15-1 underdog for Nishioka here. Now, what the spread's going to be on that, I'm not too sure. They've played each other once before, back in Paris a couple of years ago. 6-4, 6-4. Who did Nishioka play? Dugas? Yeah, Aziz Dugas. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if Alcaraz covers it. He really is that good, but I wouldn't be going anywhere near it. And then last one for the big favourites, and then we'll get into the interesting stuff. Yuri Lehechka, Hugo Gaston. Now, same as the Hugo Humbert game, but probably even more so on this. The total is really low on this. It's like 30.5, 31.5. I think it's 31. That's so low. That is so low. Hugo Gaston, you know how I feel about him, but he is more than capable, and I repeat, more than capable of taking at least one set off Yuri Lehechka. At least keeping it close. If he wins a set, that total's flying over. It's already won. Even if you get a tiebreaker, and then he keeps it close in the next, he can get beaten straight sets, and that total will still go over. It's really low. Just have a look at it. I do think Lehechka beats him. Just miles better in pretty much every department. Hugo Gaston is a very, very tricky customer. He's just like Corentin Moutet. Look what he done to Popperin today. You know, he's more than capable of taking a set, maybe even pulling off an upset. You never know. It's too dangerous for me. Let me know what you think on it. And then that's it. That's all the big ones gone. So, as you know, as usual, if anyone's got anything for any of these, please do let me know as we go along. We'll get to the officials towards the end, unless you've already checked in the pinned comments and you already know what it is. But regardless, we're going to talk about them. First off, we've got Riley Opelka, Thomas Mahach. Look, dead quick as well. I know a few people have asked about like graphics and all that. I did do it for one video at the start of the season. Truth is, while we're in Australia, I quite frankly just haven't got the time to do it. Like, importing it and all that's fine. Doing all the editing and putting all the overlays on it or whatever it or inserting graphics, that's quite easy too. Waiting for it to export on the laptop takes fucking hours. And by the time it gets uploaded, you know, I feel like the earlier I can get these out, especially while it's in Australia, it's probably the better. So when we get back in Europe, I'll have more time. We'll be able to get some graphics on. So you've got me word on that one. But for now, we'll talk about a Pelka and Mahatch. Thomas Mahatch 1.4 as a favourite. Never played each other before. I can't help but feel that without Ralia Pelka's been playing this season, that seems a little bit disrespectful. It's the fitness in it. It's his fitness. It's like a time bomb in it. You just don't know. It's like as the games go on, you're waiting for him to pull out, aren't you? I know it sounds bad, but that's the sad reality. Thomas Mahatch is more than capable of beating him. I feel like Apelka is more than capable of beating Mahatch. Maybe look at the over 3.5 sets in this one. I don't know, 1.4 for Thomas Mahatch. I mean, who did he beat in the first round? I think both of them had really easy first round games. Was it Nagal? Yeah, Summit Nagal in straight sets. 6-3, 6-1, 7-5. If Thomas Mahatch is fit, I think he beats Ralia Pelka. I think Ralia Pelka's been playing good enough if he's fit to take at least one set. So probably get better odds for the over 3.5. It's probably a bit more safe as well, so I'd have a look at that one. Moving on, we've got Benjamin Bonzi versus, is it Francesco? Yeah, Francesco Passaro, or Passaro, however you want to say it. How lucky is this guy? How lucky is this guy? He didn't even make it to this tournament. He was a lucky loser. He got pitted against Dimitrov, and then Dimitrov ended up retiring. I'm pretty sure he went a set down and a breakdown as well, so that goes to show you how banged up he must have been. That's so lucky. You really are the luckiest loser, aren't you? It's funny that I don't think he stands a chance against Benjamin Bonzi, if you'd ask me. Passaro, more of a clay dude, isn't he? Yeah. 154 wins on the clay to 98 losses, 33 wins to 31 losses on the hard court. There you go. Benjamin Bonzi, we know what he can do. I was rather happy. I imagine you were too. We were glad to witness the resurgence of Benjamin Bonzi towards the end of last season. He's been playing good this season too. He got beat by Nico Yari. He got smoked by him actually in Brisbane, round of 16. And then he got beat in the quarterfinals of Adelaide by Kekmanovic, who was playing, he still continues to play really good as well, playing a lot better than what he used to. Benjamin Bonzi played David Goffin in the first round, and he looked really good. I thought he looked really good. Anyway, 6-1, 6-2, and then a tiebreaker in the third. I feel like at 1.3 on the decimal, Benjamin Bonzi is the perfect parlay piece for today. I imagine he gets it done quite comfortably. I say quite comfortably. Nothing's for certain in these games, is there? But if I had to roll a dice, I'd be willing to roll it on Benjamin Bonzi every day of the week. Next one for us, next game is Carbias Baena. James Duckworth getting Carbias Baena around 1.8. It was split down the middle. It keeps going up and down. It really is that type of game. It's a coin flip. The over 3.5 in this seems to be the most logical choice, in my opinion. I didn't think Duckworth was going to smoke Dom Stricker in 3 sets. He looked alright as well. He looked fairly decent. Carbias Baena, I mean, how deep do we expect him to go in this tournament? Honestly, how deep do we expect him to go? He's been playing really good. He started the season off a lot better than what I expected him to. I'll give him that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3-2 to start the year. Considering it's the hard court, you know, got to give it to him. He looked really good against Tabilo as well in his last game. Drilled him 3-1. I'd probably give the slight edge to Duckworth here as a dog. I would. I don't see either of them winning in straight sets. I really don't. I think Carbar's Burn is tricky enough to take one off him. I think Duckworth could definitely do the same. Like I said, I don't know who's going to win. It may just go all the way. I could see it being a 5 sets. It wouldn't shock you if it was. Over the 3.5 would be the way on that. We spoke on Lehechka. We spoke about Alcaraz. We've got... Oh shit, I missed out Djokovic. Fuck. Oh, it doesn't matter, only take a second, but he's playing Jamie Farrier, 1.02, same as Alcaraz. That's just a crazy favourite. I'm not too familiar with Jamie Farrier's game, I'm not going to lie to you. I haven't watched a lot of him. Um, he did look good against Kotov. I've seen a bit of that, only clips. Beat him in straight sets. He did 6-1, 6-1, 7-5. Spread time, maybe. I don't know. If anyone's taking the spread on Farry there, let me know. I know he's got quite a decent little fan base. But yeah, you've got to expect Djokovic to get through there. Got to expect. And I imagine Djokovic is going to be playing. Don't quote me on it, but I think it's either who wins from a Pelka and Mahatch. So I think it looks like Djokovic has had a couple layups to start his Australian Open with. Even though Nishesh isn't a layup, even though to Djokovic you can probably say he is. And then Jamie Farrier, I mean, what is this draw? What is this draw? It doesn't matter. Jordan Thompson, Nuno Borges, 1.75 for Jordan Thompson. Oh, Nuno Borges fucked me over against Zizou Berg. He really did. He should have won that game. Still thinking about that. He looked good against Alexander Muller in the first round, though. Even though he fucked me, I've got to give it to him. He's looked really good. He's looked really good. He's already beat Mensah. You know, he's beat Muller. He looked decent enough against Bergs before he just capitulated. Got it done against Navone, Darderi. He's beat Boo. Yeah, man, I mean, you know, Bosch just looked alright, and he looks fairly solid enough. Anyway, looking at best of five as well, you've got to imagine him to take a set off Jordan Thompson here. You've got to expect them to. Jordan Thompson looked good against Dominic Kepfer. He won that 3-1. I think he's went 3-1 to start the season. Yeah, he had to retire against Dimitrov. That's the only loss that's been chalked on for him. This is another one. Now, do you see anyone winning this in straight sets? I don't. Both of these, the levels can fluctuate like a lot with both of these. I think Jordan Thompson beats him. Would you give him a slight edge with it being at home? Do you think that's enough? I'm not too sure anymore. It's not European football, is it? These home advantages, they only do so much, so much. Nuno Borges has been playing enough, playing good enough. Excuse me, he's been playing well enough. I think he could beat him. I think this could be the home upset. He could definitely pull off an upset. He's beaten twice before. They've already played each other twice, and he's beaten both times. Once on the grass, once on the clay. 2022 and 21. Both of them are good on the hard court. They do the majority of the business on the hard court. You say Jordan Thompson's by far the most experienced on the surface. There's no doubt about that. I don't know. I can't pick a side. Over 3.5 sets. It seems like the safe bet, doesn't it? That is the safe bet in these Grand Slams, if you ask me. But we'll move on to the next one. We've got Arthur Cazot, Jacob Fernley. Now this is a very close one. Odds are split right down the middle. I think Jacob Fernley's a slight favourite depending where you look. 4-1 to start the year, 2-2 for Arthur Cazot. Jacob Fernley's just beat Nick Kyrgios in straight sets. Now personally, I'm not so sure how much weight a win over Nick Kyrgios actually holds at this point in his career. He's still good enough to hang around, but I'm not too sure. Look, it's a good win. Nonetheless, it's still a really good win. It's still Kyrgios, but it's not. So, I don't know. Great ship from Jacob Fernley. He played really good. He played really good. He always does on the hard court. Like hard court is all this lad knows. He's never played a game on the clay in his career. He started in 2018. Strictly hard court and a couple of grass ones as well. He really is British, isn't he? Arthur Cazot barely got past Sebastian Baez. Barely got past Sebastian Baez. 3-2, you know. It, realistically, I feel like Arctic Cazot should be destroying Sebastian Baez on the hard court, but no, no. It was up and down. It really could have went either way. He did manage to bagel him in one of the sets, but no, not enough for me. We seen him get beat by Aliassime in Adelaide, but he smoked everyone. He beat Adam Walton, and then he got drilled by Dusan Lazovic. I think Fernley's going to do him, you know. I really do. A set each, you know, look at a set each looks perfect in my opinion. I think Jacob Fernley should have more than enough confidence after that Nick Kyrgios win. You'd fancy him for it. You'd fancy yourself, wouldn't you? If you've just beat Nick Kyrgios, you'd fancy yourself against Arctic Cazot if you were him. I know I personally would. Them odds are so close. I'd be willing to roll a dice, you know. I think I am. I'm this close to just putting it as a single. It's good enough to be one. It could be close. I feel like based on just what we've seen and what we know overall, I think Jacob Fernley might just be able to get this one done. I really do. I think he might just be. It's not even. I'm saying he might just be. You know, looking at the last games, he might just smoke him, and it's easy money. But even if he doesn't, I fancy him to have enough. I do. I think he's got more than enough in the bag to get past someone who's been, let's face it, Arctic Cazot has been more than, you know, he's been fairly inconsistent for quite some time now. You know, I think the last time I seen him play really good was around this time last year, so I'd have to go with me boy here. I'd have to go with Jacob Fernley. Maybe I'm being a little bit biased like I am with Jack Draper, but I really do see Jacob Fernley getting this one done. And with the price the way it is there, fuck it, it's going as a single. Why not? Jacob Fernley on the money line. I'll be sitting there watching that one. Alexander Vukic, Korda. Is Korda good to go? Yes or no? Because he's 1.3 on the decimal, excuse me. He's 1.3. And I don't. Look, he wins this game, even though Vukic did beat him last time out. That was a while ago. Korda's just a well better player. He's well better. He got bageled by Lucas Klein, which was quite worrying. But even though he got bageled, he was good enough to just come back and win that. Is it his stomach? I think it's his stomach. He's got something. I don't know. Has he got the shits or is it like a muscle or something? I don't know. I think he's got like a. He's having problems with his stomach. Anyway, folks, and I don't know how bad they are. I don't know if they've got worse. I don't know if they've gotten better. 1.3, I still think even if Korda's around 70-80%, he still beats Vukic, in my opinion. I just don't want to risk sticking it on a parlay and he is injured. It could be void and it won't matter, but I just don't want to risk it and he just fucking shits the game away. And it's so obvious that he's injured, so I feel like Sebastian Korda would be the play. It's a decent parlay piece. I do think he wins. I'm just not brave enough to stick it on what I'm going for. I don't think I am. Same with this one, pretty much. Tommy Paul and Nishikori, both of these went 5 sets, didn't he, in the last game, was it? Yeah. Nishikori 5 against Thiago Monteiro and Tommy Paul 5 against Christopher O'Connell. Who's the better player? Tommy Paul. I'd say. Last time these played was 2017. Nishikori won that one for those who care. Is Tommy Paul injured as well? Did I read something? Is it his shoulder? He was like, I seen a clip or something or read something. He seems to be. I'm sure it's a shoulder problem or the elbow. It was something because his backhand was whiffing. Nishikori's had an extra day off now. I feel like that's probably the best thing that can happen for him in a spot like this. You know, load management, energy management is going to be key for this lad here. didn't think Tommy Paul was going to go 5 sets with Christopher O'Connell, I'll be honest with you. I didn't. I thought he would have got that one done a lot easier than what he did. The last thing he wants to do, he needs to get. I can't remember. I'm sure it was his forehand or his backhand, whatever it was. He definitely struggled. He definitely struggled. He probably should have wrapped it up 3-1, but he pissed it away with a few errors. Uh, the last thing he wants to do is get into a fight with Nishikori. You don't want to get into a dogfight here, a scrap with this kid. Maybe, I don't know, over 3.5 sets, you'll get decent odds for that. Tommy Paul's a decent favourite, 1.4. That's a really good parlay piece. I'm not so sure on the fitness of him. I know he's a better player, like on the court, he's just better pretty much in every aspect of the game, but same as the Corda one, there is some underlying issues. And I don't know, maybe, you'll look back on this tomorrow and we'll speak about it in tomorrow's video and we go, oh my god, Sebastian Corda and Tommy Paul won in straight sets. Like, just maybe. But there is some uncertainty about it. I don't know what it is. Nishikori seems to be good enough to take a set. I feel like if O'Connell can take two off you, Nishikori's going to take at least one. So I'd beware. I'd beware of that one. Maybe just lean towards the over on the set. Tommy Paul should be beating them nonetheless. And then I'm probably more confident about this one. I think I am. Quinton Hallis is playing Artifice. Getting Artifice around 1.4, is it? 1.4, something like that. I think he beats Quinton Hallis. I really do. He's beaten them the last two times they've played. Obviously, they were a couple of years ago. Once on the hard court, once on the clay. Now, we like Hallis over here, don't we? He done some bits for us over the summer last year. I can't help but think, look, Otto Feast, that game he played against Otto Verton, he beat him 3-1. I can't help but feel like this is just going to be the exact same type of match for Artifice. I really do. Quinton Hallis barely got past Adam Walton. No, very strong save, powerful hitter. So's Verton, and I feel like, if not, Artifice's first round match would have served as a really good warm up for Quinton Hallis. He should be beating him, shouldn't he? You know he should. You know he's better. Quinton Hallis doesn't really do good in this tournament, to be fair. Hard court overall, bang average. Bang average on the hard court. Artifice probably a lot more trustworthy. I'd say he's a lot more trustworthy in this spot. Hallis has just won a title in the end of November. It was the France Championship. What was that? I mean, who's he beat? I think the best player he's beat, like Zomba Piros or like Villas. I don't know. He looked alright towards the end of last season. He tends to play a lot better in France. That seems to be the case with Quinton Hallis. I think Artifice has got more than enough to beat him. I really do. And he really does need to be beating Hallis because it's only going to get harder and harder. I feel like if you can beat Otto Vertinen, you're definitely going to beat Quinton Hallis. It's the same match. I think it'll be the same match. I really do. I'd expect Artifice to get it done. I'd be more comfortable with that as a parlay piece than what I would with Tommy Paul or Sebastian Corda, just based on the injuries alone. And then we've only got a couple more, 3 more. So Davidovich Fokina, Felix Auger-Aliassime, head-to-head, 5-0 to Auger-Aliassime, 1.35 on the decimal. I think this one is already done. I really do. Felix has been playing so good. He's been playing so good. Alright, he's won what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the bounce now. He's just won the title in Adelaide. And he's just beat Jan-Lennard Struff 3-1. Davidovich Fokina did get the walkover against Jerry Shank. But let's face it, Davidovich Fokina has been fairly inconsistent. Let's say probably very below par. Let's say below par for quite some time now. For enough time, actually. It seems in this spot that Felix Auger-Aliassime is just the better player than him. It really does. And you can't deny the form that he's currently in. Alright, you could make the argument about fatigue and whatnot, but he didn't look like slowing down against Struff. He really didn't. Can't help but think he gets it done. He makes it 6-0. You can't bet against him the way he's playing at the moment. Why could you? Unless you can see into the future and you're going to be like one of the Davidovic Fekina to win or whatever, just on a punt, then fair play. But why the fuck would Felix Auger-Aliassime not beat Davidovic Fekina? Why would he not? The way he's playing, he's beat what? Recently he's beat Taylor Fritz. This is his win streak. Taylor Fritz, Artik Zoe, Marcus Gueron, Tommy Paul, Sebastian Korda, Jan-Lennard Struff. Davidovic Fekina slots in perfectly amongst all them names, if you'd ask me. I think it's time. I've spent enough time last season avoiding it, and I feel like I'm ready to go once again. I'm going to trust, whether it's the right thing to do or not, but fuck it. I'll give him another chance. I'm going to trust in Felix Auger-Aliassime to get this one done. I can't see him losing. I can't see him losing. I really can't. Let me know if you've got anything for that. Oh, fucking hell. Jack Draper's playing Tanasi Kokkinakis. Now, I'm not going to spend too much time on this. Like I mentioned in the last video, I've still got Draper on the outright. I need him to get to the 4th round. I'm not betting on him to win. He is 1.4 on the decimal. And now after his previous performance, that is absolutely nuts to me. That is fucking crackers. Kokkinakis, probably not in the greatest of shape to start the season. Admittingly, we've seen him. He pulled out, did he? What game did he pull out of? Definitely pulled out of one. He pulled out of the one against Sebastian Korda. Jack Draper looked I was very concerned about Jack Draper against Navone. Very concerned. Kokkinakis, who did he play? Roman Safulin beat him 3-1. Now, I don't think Kokkinakis would have struggled against Navone as much as Jack Draper did. Am I wrong? Let me know in the comments. I'm not going to bet it, but what I will say is this. Jack Draper is the better player. No doubt about it. We know that he really struggles with this heat. He just does. His fitness, like, there's so many question marks surrounding his fitness, as there usually is, but even more so now. If he's going to win this game, which he he may well do. He's not going to do it in straight sets, is he? He's not going to do it in straight sets against Kokkinakis at home. Over 3.5 would be the play. Head-to-heads 2-1 to Jack Draper. I'm just going to sit on it and just pray he gets through to the next round, because I've got one more game after this and then I'm in the money. I'll be happy with that. And then finishing us off, we've got Casper Ruud, Jakob Mensah. Slight favourite to Casper Ruud. I don't think he wins. I don't. I think Jakob Mensah beats Casper Ruud. I said it all throughout last season, and I'll continue to say it. He really struggles against the power. He struggles against the power and the pace. He barely got past Yami Munar. Barely. He had to go 5 sets with Munar in his first game on the hard court. Alright, Munar was playing good this season, we'll give him that, but apart from the games in the United Cup at the end of last month, he did beat Thomas Mahac and he beat Hubert Hurkacz. Going 5 sets with Yami Munar, he dropped 6-1, 6-2. He was dropping sets to Munar. That's worrying. That is so worrying, if you ask me. Jakob Mensah, okay, probably not the most trustworthy of players, but we know what we're going to get on the hard court. I think if you can take Jakob Mensah whichever way you fancy, plus the points probably isn't worth it for a set or two. I don't know, maybe even on the money line. I would much rather roll the dice on Jakob Mensah than Casper Ruud in this spot. Casper Ruud doesn't really do good. I mean, got to the round of 16 2021. 2023 he got beaten in the second round by Jensen Brooksby, and then he got smoked in straight sets by Cam Norrie last year in the 3rd round. I don't know. Something about it. He is the number 6 in the world. He is good. We know he is. He's really good. He just really struggles on these surfaces. He just does. And against someone like Mensah, I think he's got enough to give him some trouble. I really do. I'd maybe look at the total or the over 3.5 sets, but I do not think Mensah makes it easy for him. As a matter of fact, if he was playing Mensah instead of Munar in the first round, I can't help but feel like he wouldn't be here. So let me know what you think on that. Right then, happy days, folks. Is that all of them? Yeah, that's definitely all of them. Sound. Appreciate you stopping by as always. Appreciate you spending the time. If you watch them, if you make it all to the end anyway, I don't blame you if you don't. Right then, picks it in the comments. I think I'm gonna go for Benjamin Bonzi, Felix Auger-Aliassime. That is 1.8, is it? It's around 1.7, 1.8. I'll double check and I'll post it. I'm gonna go for that on a double. I really want to put Artifice on it, get that plus money, but I am not too sure. If I went for the treble, you'll see. If not, don't worry about it. I'm going to go for the single. I'm going to go for Jacob Fairley on the money line also. So, nice little parlay and a single for you. Let me know what you're going for. Best bets and all that. Best of luck to you. Like and subscribe for me. Be cool if you did. And I'll be saying good night to you, folks. Take it easy. Take care of yourself. Take care of one another. Let's go get it today. And I'll see you tomorrow.